I've poured about 25 hours into the 7 Deadly Sins Origin over the course of the last, like a week, a little over a week, ever since it released onto PS5 and onto PC. Thus far, I can say unequivocally that this game can be very, very fun. It's kind of like a more updated, and I'm gonna hate myself for saying this a little bit, but a little bit more of an updated Genshin Impact, aesthetically, graphically. I have been having a ton of fun in the co-op specifically. This is an area of the game that the game really excels in, more than any other gacha game, having a seamlessly synchronized story and world where everyone that plays together can continue their story together, can loot treasure chests together, can loot items out in the world without issue, without desynchronization of any world or story, as long as you're at the same point in the story. This has left Mrs. Stix and I a lot of room to enjoy playing the game together. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here today to talk about is how the game has been doing. Has it been performing well? Has it been underperforming? Do people love it? Do people hate it? Let's go ahead and take a look. Let's go ahead here and start this off with its individual rankings. Let's start here on mobile. In Japan and Korea, the game is doing very well. It just launched mobile, so these rankings are to be expected, but it is already ranked the #1 game in Japan as of the 23rd of March. Topping Dissidia, Dwell in Final Fantasy, topping Data Live Love Limit Break, every other gacha game in this list. That is a phenomenal number. To expand on that, Kaku Bleach So Resonance made a tweet stating on its first week, the 7 Deadly Sins Origin ranked highly in Steam sales charts across multiple countries worldwide, including first place in France, second place in Belgium, Italy, and Spain, fourth place in Germany, Norway, and the Netherlands, fifth place in South Korea, Japan, the United Kingdom, Brazil, Denmark, and Thailand, seventh place in Hong Kong, 11th place in the United States. These are very, very good numbers. Admittedly, so actually this was posted at 1 a.m. this morning. That was about 17 hours ago. So as of 17 hours ago, the game ranked, oh wait, no, this is the Steam sales charts. Okay, so this is actually Steam. The mobile version of the game is probably ranking in an entirely different way, bringing in money in an entirely different way. But seeing the US at number 11, seeing Hong Kong at number 7, seeing Korea, Japan at number 5 is actually quite the accomplishment. Then we navigate on over to the Steam page where we can actually get a gauge as to how the game is doing, at least on Steam. Now, the game is playable on multiple different platforms. It has a Steam launcher, which is the only way to fully play the PC version of the game. It has a PS5 client. It also has mobile. But mobile also has the ability to play it via the Google Play client thing, that really crappy emulator that only works half the time for half the games you try to run it on. Looking at the numbers, you'll see that it peaked 7 days ago with 65,753 concurrent players. It's actually a very good number given this is a gacha game, but maybe not as impressive when you factor in this is a very popular intellectual property. The 24-hour peak thus far is 41,476. That's very, very high still. It was almost 50,000 yesterday, meaning that the vast majority of players that started the game 7 days ago are likely still playing the game, or there are a lot of new players potentially playing the game in place of the players that quit. Either way, the game is doing quite well over on Steam. Yo, I don't mean to interrupt the video, but I need to take a moment here to thank all my incredible patrons over on Patreon whose support continues to allow for me to do regular videos like this every single day on this channel. Thank y'all so much, including our YouTube channel members. You guys mean the world to me. So do you guys as viewers as well. Now, without further ado, let's continue. The ratings for the game, though, are at mixed 54%. That isn't great. I actually don't know why they're as low as they are. I guess with some people might think the game's a little dull, but I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it, the co-op experience with it. You got to play with 4 other people, so a max total of 5 players concurrently, all being able to use 4 different characters at the same time, totaling 20 characters together. It's been fun. It really has been. But there are 2,500 reviews left thus far with a 54% rating, or with 54% of them rating it positively, which isn't great. Navigating on over to the PlayStation Store, it is at almost 4 stars out of 5 stars out of 6,000 ratings. Steam had 2,400 ratings. The PlayStation Store has 6,000. I wonder if that means, is the PlayStation version played by a significantly higher number of people? Because if so, if you think about it, if there were, what, 40, 50,000 players playing concurrently at any point in the last several days, that means that there could be well over 120,000 players playing on PS5. That's a hefty number. Hundreds of thousands of players, and you factor in also the mobile release. Now that it has released, is probably going to get millions of downloads just purely from people that want to try out the game. The vast majority of even mediocre new gacha game releases onto the App Store and the Play Store end up with millions of downloads anyway. So with this in mind, you're probably looking at millions of total players. And that is very impressive, especially when you factor in that it's been pretty well received from console players, decently received from PC players, and is the #1 app in multiple countries all around the world right now. I went and I looked at Metacritic. Unfortunately, no one has rated it. No one has rated it on any platform, on PS5, on PC, or on mobile, which is incredibly disappointing because I figured I wanted to like factor in as many of these different review websites as I could to try and get a good estimate of how it was doing across every single review, like aggregate, but unfortunately, that isn't the case. What we do know is that on every major platform, it's at its worst doing mediocre, doing decently average, okay, but at its best, it's actually doing very well. With this in mind, we can only hope that they iron out any issues that mobile players are having, because you know mobile players are going to be having issues. We can hope that they continue to improve the game and make improvements to the version that we can all play, future versions, and provide something we can all look forward to and continue to have fun in. Because at the end of the day, the 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross has continued to be a decent earner for them every single month, every single year since it released. And I think that this game definitely has the potential to be a decent game as well, as long as they don't pull a Ni no Kuni Cross Worlds with it and integrate like NFTs or blockchain or any of that bullshit. I know you think that you just hit the end of the video, and technically, yeah, you have. And I know your first reaction is to close out of it at this juncture, but don't. No, instead, I urge you to take a moment here and click one of the videos on screen that are coming up in just a moment so you remain up to date with everything going on in the gacha genre. Trust me, you're not going to regret doing so. Stay flaccid.